Gardner here. Rise up wealth. We're glad you're here. Look, there's my email. If you have questions, comments, compliments, no criticism. I'm not reading it. But feedback, feel free to email me. But today I have my wonderful, brilliant friend, because I like to play with smart people, Amy Kafati. And we're just so glad you're here, one of my brilliant friends.
Thank you for having me, Julie.
Doesn't she look cute today, y'all, in her super curly hair? And she's with Synergy Financial. And let me tell you about Amy. She's a mom of one. I think that's smart on her part. Like, let's just keep it chill with one kid. A handsome husband. I patted him on the shoulder and I thought I broke my finger because he works out. I was like, oh, he's like stone cold Kafati. Love it. And she's a benefits advisor and a physical therapist. She went to Auburn University and graduated. Any Auburn fans out there? I'm with Alabama, but
War Eagle.
We've got our battles going on. Yep. Here's a fun fact about Amy. You will not find her on Facebook or Instagram, probably because she's focused on other things, which is not a bad thing. And then she went to India with her best friend after graduating high school just for the summer. Being a picky eater that she is, she didn't eat any of the food, and she still doesn't like Indian food. Sorry, you people that love curry. I can't do spice. I can't do it.
Especially not curry.
I can't do the spice. Sorry, y'all. Well, Amy, I'm glad you're here. And today I wanted everyone to hear about living benefits. And you are my benefits advisor, expert on living benefits. So tell us about those. Some people are probably going, what's living benefits? So who needs to lean in on this conversation and listen? Like, what's living benefits all about and who's it for?
Well, if you've got 2 ears and you're listening, it's definitely for everybody. And so living benefits is a rider that comes on your life insurance policy.
Okay. Yeah. Now, what's a rider? What is that?
A rider is something that you can add on, and sometimes it's for a fee, sometimes it's free, but all the companies that we work with, Julie, all the riders come with just your basic death benefit. And then what we call living benefits is 24, one of them being a death benefit, 24 extra riders that come on that policy that can be used when you're alive. Thus the word living benefits.
Kind of like I grew up going to Baskin Robbins and I used to get mint chocolate chip ice cream. Now, if you go to the racetrack gas station, they have the little yogurt machines and then this whole like display of candies and sprinkles.
Yes.
So it's kind of like that. It's the same price whether you get one scoop of ice cream or whether you get all the sprinkles, right?
You got it.
Interesting. I love it. Okay. So there's life insurance, which you usually you die and you need it. And usually those are really good for people with kids. Like I think, you just got married or you just had a kid, you need life insurance, right?
Correct. Yeah.
But what's so special about living benefits? Like what are some of these riders that come with this?
So with living benefits, one of the biggest things that we talk about is if you get you have cancer, stroke, heart attack, your policy, your insurance policy will kick in and pay you out of your policy. So say you have a $500,000 term insurance policy, and you have a heart attack. Well, that insurance policy, you work with a carrier and they will pay you out of that policy $100,000, depending on the level. There's different levels. Tax-free cash for whatever you need to use it for. It's not like it has to be earmarked for your hospital bills. But one thing that people don't think about is when they have one of these big events is the mortgage company doesn't care that you're not working. Your internet doesn't care that you're not working. And so if you are the main breadwinner and you're healing and you're recovering, where's the money coming from? It takes a huge stress off your shoulders to have living benefits on one of your life insurance policies.
So it's interesting. When I was in my 20s, I know I look like it now, but when I was in my 20s, I didn't have friends that had heart attacks. I had some people that had cancer. My 26-year-old nephew had a colon issue. his mom died of colon cancer at 31. Let's just
Oh.
list out all the sad stories. But
Yeah.
okay, so but the whole point of heart attack. So I find that the people that I know that have had heart attacks are 50s and 70s. So if someone had a heart attack or had to get a stent in their heart or something,
Mhm.
and they get living benefits after the event happened, or how
Yeah.
does that work?
No. Yeah, once it happens, you are uninsurable. Cancer is probably going to be 10 years, depending on the type of cancer, the severity of the cancer, but people are not looking to insure you for a good 10 years. Heart attack, I don't know that you would get insurance again. So something to look at when you're younger, as you say, because you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. Not only is it, so we're talking about critical illness, there's other things on this. There's terminal illness, there's chronic illness, there's accident. My 19-year-old niece was in a horrible car accident and had traumatic brain injury. You don't plan these things, right? But again, it's a cash payout that's tax-free. So who needs living benefits? Everybody needs living benefits. And
they need it
especially
sooner than later, right?
yeah, they needed it yesterday.
Because doesn't insurance get more expensive the older you are?
It does. Yep, because you're talking about risk. Yeah. And so obviously as we age, there's fewer years ahead of us than there are behind us.
So I never heard of living benefits until just last year. And quite frankly, it made me mad. I was like, why has no one been talking about this? Do you
Yeah.
have any idea like what percentage of Americans have living benefits and know about this kind of stuff?
About 5% of Americans have living benefits.
That's
And
crazy.
one of the big reasons is probably because it's not advertised. Your big life insurance companies that you see on TV most likely don't have living benefits, or if they say they do, one of them that they might have is terminal illness. And with terminal illness, it could be a 12-month or a 2-year. And that's when a doctor tells you, okay, we've done everything we can. You have 12 months or 2 years left to live. And your life insurance policy would pay you out 90 to 100%. Can't remember right now. Again, tax-free cash, you can say, hey, I'm going to go get this. I'm going to go get in this experimental treatment. Or you can say, it is what it is. I'm going to take my family. We're going to go cruise for a year. You know what? I'm going to make memories before I leave. It's your money and it's tax-free. You can do whatever you want with it. So yes, terminal illness is one of our 24 riders, but it's only one. And so we only work with companies that have, significant living benefits that are really worth it.
So my dad had dementia, and I don't know that anyone had dementia prior to him, so in his family line. So that qualifies, right? If he had it.
Yeah, there's an Alzheimer's rider. In addition to a chronic illness, and a chronic illness is you can't do 2 of the 6 activities of daily living. So when you do have dementia, that could trigger that. But now there's even a separate Alzheimer's rider in addition to that, which is great.
Amazing.
I know Alzheimer's.
It's just amazing, right?
It's one of the most costly diagnoses these days is Alzheimer's. And anybody that knows somebody with it, that's hard.
We had to pay, or my mom did, I didn't. But just putting locks on the doors so that he doesn't go wander. Having someone come do the baiting she put him in adult daycare and he loved it. He loved being social with people.
Yeah.
And they loved having him. They loved dance time and piano time. But, so, and I know that my granddad lived with us for a couple of years before he passed, and just renovating your home, putting shower bars in the shower to make sure they don't fall, changing out the tub because nobody can. Why do we have tubs?
For babies. They're for babies.
Why do we have tubs? Nobody can get in them. They're dangerous. But and that costs a good $10,000 to change out your tub. Probably. So yes, lots of amazing things. My girlfriend, I don't know if she had living benefits or not, but she had breast cancer, chose to have the surgery, not the chemo treatment, healed herself with natural remedies and cutting out sugar. But she said, oh, it was expensive to get all it's still expensive to pay for vitamins and whatnot. And my other girlfriend's husband had 12 years of cancer. And they were told they could not use experimental drugs or certain herbs and things like that because that would cancel out the chemo. So It's nice to be able to have the money to go try
Right.
what you need to try.
Options. That's what you have. You have
Yeah.
options.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I don't know if have you ever hurt yourself? I can only imagine the stress of I need to work, and then you've got
Right.
bills piling up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I broke my foot and my right foot, meaning I can't drive. So I had to have a driver, which was my husband, and it worked out. It just happened to be a
Yeah.
period of time that it worked out because, he works full time. So, now we have Uber, but that was way before then.
Yeah. Well,
Before
people,
more options.
just not being able to go to work, they just need that carryover while they're sick
Right.
and recovering, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, most people that I talk to have a financial advisor. And, it's kind of like you have a doctor when you want to stay healthy, you have a fitness instructor, but we have financial advisors. So, you're a benefits advisor. And I'm sure that there's financial advisors that you're doing stocks and bonds and maybe Bitcoin with them. I don't know. And then, where does living benefits fit into that whole financial wellness plan?
So a lot of your financial advisors are probably working in the market, which is great. You can make a lot of money in the market. But depending on where you are in life, you're a 25-year-old or you're a 50 and you're well established in your job, or you're looking towards retirement at 65, you do need to have a portion of your income that is not in the market, because April 3rd, 2025 could happen any day where the market comes down. And what if that was the day that you were going to retire? And now you've lost half of your retirement, and your retirement plan has definitely changed. So living benefits come on two different things. They come on term insurance, which is, I like to say, burn the term. That's like your 20-year policies. Those are usually pretty inexpensive, but you can also have permanent insurance. And that's where you can actually build cash in a retirement fund. But they also come with living benefits, which is amazing.
Wow. Yeah, that is
So
amazing.
if you're sitting down, if you have a insurance plan, which a lot of people have them with work, which is good. At least you have something. But nowadays we don't stay with our company. The loyalty is not there. And so you want to have your own personal life insurance plan so it follows you. And if you have one, go look and see if it's got something called ABRs, which are accelerated benefit riders, and see what it has on it. So at least you're educated and know what you do have.
Okay, that's very good. And what you're saying about being work insurance, yeah, work has, and work might give us some coverage, but I don't know that I've ever worked anywhere that they gave me $500,000 of coverage, $1 million. They might give me 100,000,
right,
or some short-term money.
Right.
But let's just say they gave you the best $1 million coverage, but then they're like, well, you've been working at XYZ manufacturing for 50 years. Or my friend, he was such a good salesperson, they fired him because they could hire a younger, cheaper version of him. Exactly. So they kicked him out. Well, now here he is, 60 years old, trying to get insurance. Whoo, it's so expensive.
Yes, it is.
And I don't know if he could even, I don't remember his story, if he could even get insured or not, because stuff happens.
So as you're saying, I mean, it's best to get it when you can.
Yeah.
Which is now, because you don't ever know what tomorrow will bring.
I love it. So, if we've got a financial advisor, we should probably check about ABRs. What'd you call those?
They're accelerated benefit riders. So so they'll be abbreviated, but that's what the full words are. So it's great. Hey, if you have them, your financial advisor may not know what you're talking about.
Yes. Which is, scary. And then here's another thing. What if we used to have all our money in stocks.
Right.
I don't know if that was good or bad. But when we moved our money around and refinanced our finances, we had to pay taxes on whatever we sold in the stock market.
Right.
And you said you don't pay taxes on any kind of payout from the insurance company, right?
Correct. There is no tax.
Well, no tax. Good. So if they're giving you 100,000, they're giving you 100,000.
$100,000. It's amazing. Yes.
It's not like winning the lottery, you're like, yeah, thanks. Half that's going to go to the taxes, right?
Right. Yeah. And where people, like you're talking about your money being in the stock market, most people are in a 401k. That's what we're taught, right? Go to work, put your money in a 401k. But you get a diagnosis. I have a young friend, she's 31. She's got squamous cell cancer in her mouth. And you have to pay in that 401k. She's only 31. You're going to pay the tax to pull it out. Ordinary income tax. You're also going to pay an extra 10% on top of that to the government because you're younger than 59 and a half. You have none of those rules on a life insurance policy.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, at least get some.
Like, yes,
have a mix in your financial wellness plan. Have a mix, right?
Yes. Yeah, have a mix. You're exactly right. I mean, the stock market's not bad. You can make lots of money in the stock market, but let's have some money somewhere else that is not at the risk of the stock market, but still getting a decent rate of return.
So I've got Amy's email on here, and fun thing too, I can work with Amy and always refer you to her. But if they want to reach out to you, what would it look like for them? Like, is it a 2-hour long face-to-face meeting? Is it a 10-minute video chat? What does it look like to work with you and even see what they even need?
Okay, so what we do in our company, we lead by education. It's all about education. And Synergy feels that everybody in the United States should have access to free financial education. So that is what we do. So the first meeting would be all about education. It's about a 30-minute. I'm in Georgia. If you're in Georgia and I can come to you, I love sitting knee to knee at the kitchen table. Or if you're further away, we would do a Zoom. But all about education. And then we do something called a financial blueprint where we do analysis, and we see where your needs are and where you might have problems. And we come back with solutions. And it's completely up to you whether you would want to go through with that or not. But again, the whole process is free. You're not paying us for any of our time or our expertise.
I love it. And then I'm curious, why would you do all this work with people for free? Because why do you even do this? I mean, you
right. I know that's where I was gonna go, Julie, because I am a physical therapist. Well, and I also married one. My husband is one, and so he opened up a PT practice in 2006, and the retirement goal was to sell it when we were ready to retire. Well, when you start doing that for a while, you might know that it might be hard to find the seller for one private PT practice when you want to retire. So when a company approached us, we weren't thinking about it at all. And then we started thinking about it. So over that year, they kind of, kept coming back. So we decided to sell in 2019. And he had a patient who is in the business. And when we were done, he looked at me and said, "You could do this." And my biggest thing was I wanted all my friends and family to feel the pressure off their shoulders, just like I did. Like we had a plan, we were set. And hey, I could do that. I love working with people in the PT world. I love working with people in this world. You're just helping people. Yeah.
Well, and okay, so I don't know if you've had friends. You obviously have had friends that have cancer, right? I'm going to dinner with somebody tonight, and she said, "I'm making a lemon icebox pie because my neighbor's got cancer and I'm taking her," or she had surgery. She didn't have cancer, but she's taking some lady some pie. So she's like, "We're also having pie." I was like, okay. Yeah. But I know that I have had friends with cancer. I mean, even as young as 8 years old, I have had people in my life with cancer. And I mean, I make really good mac and cheese that I can take somebody that as a dish, like, "Thank you. Hope you feel better." But what would I spend $40 on that? And I have gotten GoFundMe accounts that said, "Hey, make a donation." I might have donated $100. I don't know. But even once you pass the plate, maybe they get $4,000. But that's not enough to pay for even a month's worth of expenses.
No.
So you could either give a casserole of macaroni and cheese, or if they're gluten-free, you could figure out how to get them living benefits. And then they get a check for $100,000, $200,000.
So much more. And you can start a policy on somebody as young as 14 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a 14-year-old baby.
14-year-old baby and just start putting, we call it a Head Start plan. So it builds, and you can use it for college. You can use it for their first car. You could use it for their first house. You could use it if you have a girl. You could use it for that wedding. So you can start these policies very young.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, you guys don't just walk, but run to talk to Amy, because this is important. What is it? 1 in 5 or 1 in 4 get sick? I mean,
yeah. Well, the cancer, cancer is almost 1 in 2, which is, it's scary. I mean, it's scary. Yeah.
And that's really awesome. Amy, thank you for sharing about this, because again, I would rather see somebody get a check for $100,000 than my macaroni and cheese, even if it's like the best in the world. But,
of course. Yeah. I think I need some of your macaroni and cheese, Julie.
I know, really. Let's see. I need to do a macaroni and cheese recipe, although I don't know that I've mastered mine yet, but I certainly can make some really good biscuits and tomato gravy.
Sounds good to me too.
Yeah, I can make that. But and I make egg roll in a bowl. So for my people on keto diets, I can make that.
Oh, wow.
That's actually what my friends are like. Can we have some more egg roll in a bowl? I'm like, sure. I'll make that for you.
There you go.
Well, amazing. Thank you so much for your time, Amy. And y'all reach out to Amy. She'll be happy to talk to you this week.
It's been a pleasure, Julie. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.